happening. It's still preparing. I've pressed the go live button. I'm going to try again.
Oh, cool, we're live. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm glad you're back for our tree drawing and leaf drawing workshop. So if you're new, that's fine. We're going to be going over some techniques that we did in the first week, and these will all be on the library page and the YouTube page. So if this is your first one, it's really nice that you're here and drawing with me this morning. We're going to be doing some leaves and some trees, so it'll be really cool in preparation for our landscape drawing next week. So all you need is pencil, charcoal, or pen. I'm going to be using pencil and charcoal today, but you can use anything you like. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is sort of if we've got leaves coming in front of an image. So if you're looking out a window and there's maybe some leaves hanging, you can get your pencil. And if you want to do it with me, this is just little sections of a branch. So if you bring at least one down, and then you can do whatever you like. So I'm just going to draw some extra branches coming off there, and they don't have to be perfect. Some longer and some shorter. And then we're going to do some leaves in detail. So if you do something like that, and then you can add some more coming off. And don't worry too much about it being perfect. You can have little bits coming off up the top. And just keep joining them together. And they don't have to be the same as mine, but I'm going to leave mine there. So just something like that. I'm just joining right there. So we're going to be doing some gum leaves because the first tree we're going to be doing is a gum tree. For this one, we're going to be doing really detailed leaves. And for the actual tree, we're going to be doing, I'll show you a technique that helps you do the leaves in a way that's fast. You don't have to put too much detail in, but it looks really effective. So just have a go at drawing that, and then I'll move on to outlining the leaves.
Hey Liv, we've got some repeat offenders on here. We've got a good morning from Linda and Rex. So that's Linda with the Y. Morning from Jeff and Tony. Linda with an I is saying she's back. We've got Wendy. She's from Warrombi. So welcome, Wendy. Kerry's said good morning. I don't know if anybody can hear, but I'm hearing a little bit of feedback from you, Liv.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's just me. So I might ask that those that are listening, can you comment and let us know if you're just hearing a bit of feedback from Liv, or it could just be my connection.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, it's okay if you're not finished, I'll leave you more time as well. So just on the ends of these ones here, we're going to add some leaves, and they're drooping down, so they're not going to be going up this way. They're going to be coming down like that. And for gum leaves, they're a bit crackly and a little bit broken sometimes, so you can add these little grooves in there, and just do that for all of the little spaces that you've made on the branches, and they can overlap. This one's going behind this leaf, so I'm just going to maybe stop that just there. And maybe the one at the front goes off the paper. It doesn't matter how big or small you've done it, just do whatever you think.
So Liv, we still have that slight echo.
Okay.
It's just quite slight, people have said. Not sure how we fix that one though.
Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Is that making a difference? Okay, thank you. Okay, just keep working. See, I've got one here, and that's just peeking behind there, and just do whatever you think. Give them a bit of a crackly look because they're gum trees. They might have little broken bits. And I'm thinking I might just add one coming off here as well. So you can add more wherever you think. Might have little branches that don't have anything. But at the moment, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'll just give you a few minutes to do those.
That's much better, Liv.
Awesome, thank you. Still learning with the technology.
Aren't we all?
It's crazy.
And for all of our artists that have jumped on today, feel free to send through to the library messenger, Facebook, any progress pics that you've got going on. And also any comments. I think one thing I really enjoy about these sessions, Liv, is that we get, even though we can't all be in the same room together, we still get to communicate with one another through Facebook. So that's definitely been a highlight of mine.
I loved seeing everyone's posts during the week as well. Like last week, even after the seascapes, I saw people posting flowers. So it's really nice to see. And I apologize for challenging everyone last week, but I think it was worth it.
Absolutely. I think you really made them work, but it was great. Some of the results were fantastic. I really enjoy going back and having a look at them all.
Beautiful. So if you've finished with those leaves, just follow in the middle with some lines. And these don't have to be straight, and just do a thin center of the leaf like that. So two next to each other. And this actually helps give the leaves some dimension as well, without really doing too much. So these don't have to be perfect. And it sort of looks quite nice if it's not perfect as well. I think it gives it some character. I think gum leaves are really nice ones to do as well in watercolor or charcoal, even colored pencils. And you can really have a go and give them some character, which is really nice. So just do that with all of them. You can even add thicker stems to these little branches where they're coming off. And if you're new to these workshops, you can use any material such as charcoal, you can use pencil, you can use pen. When we get to shading, I really recommend, and I say this every week, if you don't have it, that's okay, but I recommend using something like a 3B, 4B, 5B, or I've got a 6B here, and that just helps you get darker tones with the pencil, which is really helpful creating lights and darks. So if you can get out and get a 6B and even compare it to something like a HB, you'll really know the difference. So just do those to all of the leaves.
We have a question from Linda with an I, Liv. Linda wants to know, do all the tips of leaves on one branch generally go in the same direction?
They don't have to. You can have, say, a leaf here going up or to the side. I'm not too sure. I think you can have a leaf going, so I've got one here. You can have the leaf coming down and around. So that's pointing in a different direction to here. So I've got this one pointing in that direction and this one pointing in this direction. Just have a play because, again, leaves and trees are completely natural. So I always think different directions is really nice because it just shows, I don't know, how nature works, and it's not perfect. Sometimes it looks really nice. So yeah, I've got these two going in different directions, and this one pointing up. Just have a play and see what looks nice for you.
We have a few others that have just said that it's nice to be in the group. Wendy's happy to be here today. We've got Elton back in the group this morning. And Wendy said that she loves hearing the Maggies in the background too.
I know, it's really nice. I've actually got a gum tree right in front of me. I live over a sort of wetland forest area, and I get to hear all the birds.
I was unsure if it was your birds or my birds because I've got Maggies that play in my front yard as well.
We've had regular magpies visit every night. My mum started feeding them. They've come to the front door every night at 5 o'clock. So she has some mints that she keeps and feeds them. And they sit at our front door every day at the same time, which is really cute.
Which hopefully means that you don't get swooped in magpie season.
Oh, I'm scared of magpies, so I don't go out. But yeah, just keep working with these leaves. And it's really nice because you can actually work on just a picture and just have these as the center of it. You can have some more coming down here and just have leaves as the focus. I think they're really nice. You can draw some off it if you'd like. You can draw some, I think these are gum nuts or whatever they are. I'm not sure if I've got the name right. Like those. And they look really nice. Just have them coming off. And just send photos as you go as well, or comment on the Facebook just to let me know if you're up to the next step or something, just so that I can know when to move on a little bit and I don't want to leave anyone behind. But when you've done that, what you can do is some leaves have little holes in them. I think that's or little different color marks. So you can sort of here and there just add little bits like this just to the leaves and give them some texture. And we're just more outlining at the moment. We're not really shading. Just do them to all of them. Just something, not too much, not too little, just. You might want to do some little spots on these if you've got any. And you can also just add little bits coming off that don't have any leaves, just little branches, quite small. And you might add an extra twig on there like that, so you might have one coming down and another one there. And all I'm doing is just going, okay, I've got one line here. So I'm just going to follow that. And then just add some extra little bits coming off like that. Just to give it some more interest as well. I think this is a really pretty thing that you can put in the foreground of a picture, and then you can have little bits that you draw in the background. You might have some branches that come through, some thicker ones, and have the basis of a tree. If you pop in the comments where you're up to, or if you're ready to go on, just let me know, and I'm keen to get into some shading.
No comments yet, Liv, but I just received a message from one of our library staff working behind the scenes. They are busy little beavers. I think we've just put up an image that Jeff did last week from the ocean. So that should be on last week's album if you get a chance to pop in and have a look.
Let's have a look.
Have you found it, Liv? Just found it. It looks like a beautiful headland that he's drawn.
Beautiful. Oh, I found it.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
I think every shading is really amazing. That's amazing.
That's really cool. Good work, Jeff.
Okay, so I'm just going to move on to a little bit of shading, and I really like blending. I think it's really nice. So you can even add some darker spots in leaves, like shade some dark spots in random little bits, and then add some lighter shading. So these are pretty, I guess it's random shading compared to what we'd usually do where we'd go dark to light. you can see that I've got some darker spots in some areas, and then we'll go lighter. And you can even shade and color in some of your markings that you've done. So I've just shaded one there and one across here. And then you can just work around those and even make the stem a bit darker. And even add some veins as well of the leaves. So going across, so outwards from the stem and going down towards the point of the leaf. So I hope you can see I'm going from the middle outwards and curving down on each side. So you can even do that and shade in sections, but have a go. And don't be too worried about doing the right shading, because this is more one where you can be a bit creative with it. I'm going to go a little bit darker and shade along here quite dark, because that's where it's behind this leaf. So I'm going to shade that and make it sort of shadowed by this leaf. So you can do that with all of them. Have a bit of a play. You can do some lighter than others, but really get creative and just color it in the way you'd like. So I'm shading that one. You might want to do some hatching or cross hatching. I think that's really nice with leaves. So I'm coming out from the stem or the center of the leaf, and I think cross hatching is a really cool technique as well. You can add those and shade the leaves that way if you'd like as well. So there's plenty of options there to do. Cross hatching does look really nice. I think blending helps you identify some more texture and some more shape as well. You can just add some hatching if you want in different spots, whatever you like to do. And I'd really love to see everyone's leaves posted at the end, just to see how different they all turn out, because this is where, after you've learned to shade, it's really fun because everyone has their own sort of method. So it would be really nice to see the results from that. You can always go in with a rubber if you'd like as well and rub out some of the areas that you think might be too dark. You can even leave some bits completely white in there. Like here, I'm going to leave that bit white and that bit white, and there could be holes in the leaves. So you can really get creative. Add some hatching over blending if you'd like. So like this. Hope you can see that all right. So you can really do a whole range of things. You can add some dotting and get some more texture in. If you've got some lighter areas, you might add some dotting, and I hope you can see some different textures in the leaves. Yeah. Just have a go, and you can add some shading to the branches too. You can choose one side where the light might be coming from. You can add some hatching in there. And just give it some dimension. And I'm using a 6B pencil as well. You can use charcoal, you can use any pencil you'd like. I'm just really liking the 6B because I can make it really dark where I want it to be. Do cross hatching out from the center, or hatching. So I'm just going in with a rubber because I think I've made some areas too dark for what I'd like. And you can do that too if you'd like. It's sort of a good blending tool too. You can really blend out that pencil just by lightly going over with a rubber. And that's an alternative for using a blending stick, I think. Gives it a nice soft texture or look. And a really good way to shade or blend is to use the side of your pencil. So I'm actually rubbing the side of the lead on my page, and that covers a large surface area. And you don't have to press too hard either. And I'm just going and shading my branches. And that's really just by going over one of our lines and just really just outlining that darker. That's how I'm shading that. I'm not really coloring in too much. You can if you'd like. Color in the thicker sections. You can even color in some of your gum nuts if you've done any. You can shade some of those, and I think dotting would be a really good technique to fill those in. Even not all of it, you can shade some of it and then go in the gaps with some dots to give it some texture. I'm just going to quickly grab a sharpener. Won't be 1 second. Just keep going with your leaves. Okay. So feel free to post any pictures as well. Like, I'm really excited to see some progress. You can even leave some leaves blank if you'd like. There's heaps of options. I think it really looks nice as well when some of them have holes in them. So you can really work around that. Gives it a more 3D effect too, I think. If anyone's got watercolors at home or watercolor pencils, I challenge you to do some gum leaves in watercolor as well during the week. I'd really love to see how they'd turn out. Even some inks or some paints. You can also, with your leaves, shade dark along one side of the stem coming through, and then get lighter as you go out. And then you can go darker as the leaf curves on the edge. So you can sort of visualize or make up in your mind how the leaf is shaped or falling. Might give it some little wrinkles on the side like this coming up. Are there any comments, Vicky, or any questions?
Let me have a look.
Everyone's.
Oh, sorry, I've got had a bin truck going past my house. I think we've got some progress photos. So we've got Linda with a Y and Rex. And we've got, I didn't know this. I think we've got another Linda with a Y as well.
Oh, these look amazing.
Oh, no, we don't. We have Linda with an I and Linda with a Y. So we've got a new album.
Nice. They look really, really good. I love the shape of yours, Linda, Henry. I think they're amazing.
Let me jump on and have a look.
Really good. I love the texture of yours too, Linda, Linda B. It's really nice. Just keep going with the shading. And then we'll move on to some drawing of an actual gum tree soon. And we'll be doing leaves in a very, very different way for our next one.
These are fantastic.
I know, they're really good.
And I love how everybody's so different. Do you know what Rex's reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
You know those Snuggle Pot and Cuddle Pie books?
Oh, they're really cool.
They're beautiful, and it's, yeah, I love all of them.
Might just keep going with this for a few more minutes and then move on to some trees. You can even leave big chunks of white in there. I think that looks really nice too. I loved seeing last week, I think there were lots of kids involved in doing the seascape drawing too and some flower drawing. So they turned out really, really nice. And I'm really grateful that you're sharing these lessons with your family and friends.
think with the kids going back to school, Liv, it's important to point out that these are available. These, after each session, they do go up on YouTube. I think they stay on Facebook Live, Facebook for a while, but it's if you can jump back on YouTube, and you've got them there to go back and have a look.
Okay. So I'm going to leave it there for our leaves now. We could keep going and just finish the rest if you're not finished, or like I've got so much left that I could do for mine. I might do them later, but we'll work on doing a gum tree, and I'll show you a different way that you can. I think it's hard to get all the leaves on a gum tree or an actual tree because there's so many, and it's hard to make it look nice as well. I struggle doing that, but this is a really good technique, quite easy, and it's really, really beautiful. Okay, so just get a new page when you're ready. And I'll look at doing pine trees as well after. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by just lightly drawing a line. It can be curved, it can be straight, doesn't matter. This is where our tree is going to sit. And what you can do is just start with one side and start quite wide, just like that. And then just get to that stage there. So just like that. You can even bring it down on the edges, just like that. I'm just adding an extra line or two down there. So with the trees, it's important not to be too meticulous about where the branches are going or where the leaves might go, because it might look too planned or too forced. I think trees always look quite natural. So you've just got to, when you do the branches, be quite relaxed about it. And I'm using the side of my pencil and just from the top, might add a branch like this. So, and you can come out quite wide again, and then just keep slowly. I know it's hard to do, but just keep adding bits. Here and there, so you can do that on the other side. You can do it a bit higher, try and make it not symmetrical. Mine's going to go off the page a little bit. If you'd like to, you can get a photo up of the gum tree and copy that. I think you can just slowly just add more branches. You might have to rub bits out. So I've got an extra line there. but just have a play around. Don't be too fussy about where the branches might go. You can change some branches by just using a rubber. See, I might get rid of this one here. You can add, like we did before with the gum leaves, just to add some more thicker branches coming off. And that's just by going in the center of a branch and just adding another one. Might not look finished, but when you add the leaves, you can really add some more volume in there as well. So don't worry if it looks a bit bare or a bit weird. I think trees are something I can work on too. They're really hard to draw. Can have some overlapping. So I've got one going behind a branch. Have bits coming up the top. It's quite tricky because just to choose where the placement's going. So just try and be relaxed doing it and go, okay, I'll put one here or I'll put one there, and just build it up as you go. And then when you've done that, you can go back over a little bit if you're happy, just with some darker lines, just go over. So I'm going to pretend the sun's coming from this side. So I'm going to have maybe the darker side be the right side. So just shade just little bits here and there on the right, just by going over it a bit darker, just to give it some dimension. I think this is the skeleton of the tree. And again, these are really hard to draw, so don't stress. I'm not always happy with mine. It just takes practice, I think, and even go online and find some different trees or sit in the garden and just try, have a go at drawing what you can. If you're not happy, you can do another one. So I'm going to just add one here. You can try different shapes. So even just have a go at trying some different shaped trees. So might have a tall and skinny one. That's a bit. You can have some more leaves or branches coming off the top. So there's heaps you can do. Just have a fiddle. If it's too thick, you can rub out the sides. Okay, I'll bring this branch in. And you can make it thinner as well. So there's heaps and heaps of options that you can do. Just have a fiddle. And then when you're happy with it, just leave it, and then we'll move on to adding the leaves.
So Liv, at the moment, a bit of feedback from my almost 10-year-old. He thinks that your tree looks like something out of Harry Potter, the Whopping Willow.
I actually got to see one of those last year when I went to England.
Oh, amazing. He said all you need to do is put a tree in it, and no, not put a tree in it, put a car in it, and it would be the Whomping Willow.
Could do that. So if your trees don't look like a gum tree either, like it doesn't have to be. Mine's sort of moved away from that, but sometimes it turns into something else, and that's okay too. I think sometimes the branch and the bark texture can help it look like a certain tree, because I guess gum trees sort of have this patchy look, and it's quite light too. So if you want, you can go in with some shading and just see how you go. So this could be a gum tree if it looks like it for you. It could turn into something else. And just add some texture in it. You could add some, if it's a thicker tree, you could add some swirls in there and add some texture. But I really like the scratchy bark look, so I'm gonna keep adding this texture all the way through. And just take your time. If you're not up to shading, that's fine as well. Make it look a bit darker on the right-hand side. You can add some roots coming down too. And just by adding little bits to the bottom of the tree. And just start shading and just adding that texture throughout. This is the blending technique. I'm just pressing down darker where I want the bark to look darker. And just all the way through. I think this is one of the subject matters, like trees is something that I really need to work on too. I think they're quite hard. They're one of the hardest things that I find to draw. But it's really good practice and just worth having a go at. And it's really good for shading too, finding the grooves in the trees. So like the joins, such as here, and going, oh, okay, I could add some extra shading there, or some bark texture too. You can get really creative. So here I've got a join for a branch, and I'm just going to add some darker shading. I have some really thin bits coming out too. So if you want, you can add some extra bits off it as you go. And I'm really just touching it with the brush, and I mean, not the brush, I'm not painting, with the pencil, and just flicking little bits off. And I think that looks quite natural as well. Just like we've done with the gum leaves, having little bits come off the thicker branches. So you can always add more or take some away with a rubber. You can have a tree full of branches or a tree with not many branches. It's just up to you, and I'm just slowly adding more as I go. And just keep shading that. You can leave bits that are white. Sort of does look like a Whomping Willow. And if you think it's too dark or too light, you can always make it darker or lighter. I'm making it a bit lighter with my rubber going back in. And just I think this is something I really need to work on. So just keep going, just add more or less. It's a bit bare without leaves. It's a bit scary. Hopefully it looks a bit better with leaves. I think it will. Gives it some more life. You can always just add more roots as well at the bottom just by going out in an outward direction like that. You can even go behind what you've done and add some more. Just at the front. They're just adding some different shapes really. I'm just shading to give it some depth. So just keep going. Even have it got cross hatching. I think that's really cool for trees. Just in different spots. Just give it some different textures and shapes. You can add some holes in the tree. Grooves by just adding some extra darkness to some areas. You can add the swirls in there. Really turn it into what you want in the end. I've got another photo up there. That's really nice. The shading from Linda Henry, that's really, really beautiful. Let's keep going with that. And I'm just literally flicking my pencil on some areas, so just up. And I'm pressing quite hard, just doing like when a teacher does a tick from school, just like that in different areas, just to give some more branches. You can do that if you like, you don't have to. And these
I think you're a bit frozen, Liv. I think we may be frozen or may have lost Liv. Oh, No. Sorry, everyone. We've just got a few technical issues. We're just trying to get Liv back on. She shouldn't be too far away. Are you there, Liv?
I've got one of mine back on. I'm so sorry, my Wi-Fi's cut out.
No, you're
but it's back
right.
on.
I'm just going to make
the Zoom.
There we go. I think I've got you back on.
I've just got to get my other one back on.
Okay.
Send through that code for me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Liv, I'm going to email it to you.
Thank you. Sorry, everyone. At the moment, if you'd like, you can send through some photos. I'd love to see them. Sorry again about the technical difficulties.
I've just emailed that through to you, Liv, so hopefully you can get that one back up and running.
Thank you. It's not come up.
The email didn't come through.
Let me see. Find it again.
Sorry, everyone. We're just trying to get this sorted. You can never rely on technology. We can still hear your Maggie's though, which is
Okay, join the video. Yes, slowly. Okay, it's connecting.
yeah.
Okay, back. Yeah. Okay, spotlight.
We just don't have your video of you, Liv. We've got the one of the drawing, but we've got your video off.
Is that back?
Yeah, excellent.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Oh, sideways now. Sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do it like this. Okay, so I'm gonna have to just hold it. Oh, is that right? It's upside down. There we go. Sorry, everyone. So when you've finished your branches, you can go in with your pencil, and I'm just using the shading technique and on the side of the pencil, and you can just lightly, sorry, I've just got to get this sorted out.
All good, Liv. Take your time. Get it. If you need to get it back up on the easel to make it easier.
There we go. I can just do it like that. It's a bit funny. Sorry.
Are you all right? I think everybody did actually catch a glimpse of the Wizard of Oz. I noticed that my video started coming up on Facebook.
So yeah, just use the side of your pencil and don't be too worried about where you put your shading, but just lightly add little bits of shading through at the end of your branches, and these can join together. Or these can be completely separate. You can add some more branches in there. And just do that to the whole tree. You might have big areas that go over other branches. So like you can shade over the top. Or just little bits at the end. And I'm just using the side of my brush, my hands pretty much on the page, just resting. And just adding these all the way through, just in a horizontal direction. You can do this way, but I think horizontal or, yeah, I think that looks quite nice and it covers a large area. And we're not going to leave it like this as well if you're thinking, oh, this is a bit weird. We're going to go through as well with some extra shading. So this is for faraway trees that you can't really see the detail of. So usually if you're quite far away from a tree, you might not see the individual leaves. You just see the leaves as a whole. And if you're just sketching even in the garden, this is a really nice way just to quickly draw something as it is, as you can see it, just by getting the shapes in there. So just have a go and keep doing that.
Liv, we've got, they haven't been posted yet, but we've got a few people that have sent through some progress photos, so we'll get them up very shortly. But we have a question from Wendy, and I don't know if this is in response to the glitch that we just had, and it's not really for you, Liv, it's for the rest of the group. She's asking, is anybody using a Samsung tablet to see this class? So feel free to comment. Wendy may have thought that the issue that we had was with her tablet and not our technical errors. So Wendy, we definitely had some technical errors there for a little bit, and hopefully for you they're all resolved.
So you could have more leaves on one side or more on the other, and you can actually shape your branches. You can pretend where the wind's coming from. So you can go, okay, the wind's coming from this way. I might want it to look like the leaves are going in this direction and getting blown in one way. So you can work around that too. And even if you've got some coming off the page, you can do little bits up the top. And you can, if you'd like, add some coming down too. So I think it's really nice with, especially a gum tree, you can add some just bits of shading, just so you can see some more detail in there as well. So like our other gum trees, if it's quite far away, you can just add the shape of the leaves coming down off the branches if you want to add some more detail. Just like that. So I've just added a little bit extra coming off there. And just keep having a fiddle, and you can then go through and add some extra bits of shading. So you can go through and go, okay, I want little bits to be a bit darker. You can give it some more shape too. So you can just add just some darker bits of shading around the groups of lighter shading that we've just done. So sort of give it a bit more. Looks a bit scratchy, but if you do lots of these, even smaller in a whole picture like a landscape, which we'll do next week, it's a really good way just to add some detail and just do the leaves quickly as well. So you don't have to spend so much time really going in and drawing each individual leaf. You can sort of see the groups of what would be green in your shading. So off each branches they have. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. I'm not very good at explaining this, but I hope you can start to see groups of bunches of leaves in this formation, and it's just through our shading technique. You can go from dark to light. You can add some extra branches in that you might be able to see through these groups of leaves, which we're just shading in. We're not adding too much detail. You can if you'd like, but just to do a tree as a whole, you can do this for any type of tree. I'll quickly work through a pine tree with you soon. On the ends of some other branches, so you might have some down here. And just adding extra little bits. You can add some leaves coming down. And this is a very, very relaxed technique. So I'm barely touching the page and just really moving where I think it could need some shading, and it's quite a nice technique just when you're out sketching. Go in the garden or out the front, go to the park and sit there and just try and draw the trees, and you don't have to worry about it being perfect. You can just get the basic shape in there, and I think it as a whole ends up looking quite nice. I'm so sorry about my technical difficulties and my weird positioning of the camera. It's all been a bit funny with my equipment this morning. But yeah, just keep going and see how you go. You can add, you can go through with a rubber if you'd like and make some bits lighter. You can use charcoal, add some more branches. You can use a blending stick, or you can just leave it as is, but I hope that makes sense. And you can just really do this for any type of tree. And it's quite an effective technique too. If you have some closer trees, then you can start bringing in more detail and more detail as the trees get closer. So this is, I guess, a further away tree where you sort of just see more the shape than all the detail. You can see some detail in the bark, but not too much, or not as much as the leaves that we just did before. There's lots of different techniques. You don't have to stress about it being perfect. And I think that's quite nice as well. I like just having a sketch of the trees. And
we've had someone jump on and say that they want, he thinks that you should draw an owl in the tree.
That would be cool, actually.
And there's a couple of responses to Wendy's question. So Wendy, you can go jump on the comments. A couple of people on a couple of different devices. I can tell you that I'm actually on, I think I'm on 3 different devices with this. So I think hopefully you fixed your problems that you had. But apart from that, I think, Liv, everybody's really busy drawing the tree.
Beautiful. And I thought this one would be a good one to show this technique, just because it's quite, it's not too hard and it's quite relaxed. So you don't really have to worry about all the individual bits, which I really like. And it actually looks quite nice. And if you stand back from your picture too, you might see it as a whole and like it a bit more. So if you'd like, have a stand up out of your chair and have a look from a distance and see how it looks. Otherwise, just keep going. You don't worry about finishing too, because like the gum leaves, you might want to finish them later. And I usually like to throw in a lot in these hour-and-a-half lessons. Sorry if I move on too quickly.
Everybody, sorry, Liv, I don't think we've told everyone, but we've actually, I know we extended for another 4 weeks and we've got these 4 sessions, but have we told everyone that we've extended it again? I don't think we have.
No, which is really, really cool. I'm very excited.
After this week, we will have 7 more weeks of Liv. Gracing our lovely Facebook Lives each Wednesday.
So again, if you've got some more ideas, I'll go through some Wollondilly sort of sites as well. So make it more personal to you if you live in the area. If you don't, that's fine. You can jump on and learn how to draw some areas from the Wollondilly area, and we'll do some more things as well. So if you'd like, just keep going. And if you want to as well, just add some extra shading in some areas, even on the branches. So I'm going through and adding some darker bits. Just poking through, just add some more detail. And I might quickly, I'm sorry if you've not finished, or if I've gone a bit too fast. I just really want to quickly show you one more tree that is very different to this. It's a pine tree, but it's really easy to draw. And it's quite nice as well. So I'll move on to another page. I'm sorry if you're not done. I just really like to show you as much as I can. So if you get a new page, just for the last 10 minutes, I'll just show you using soft charcoal. This is sort of similar to a 6B pencil or so. It's just a little bit blacker. Just a pine tree. So if you'd like, just draw a straight line. And you can make it quite dark as well. Go over there. And then on the other side, not too thick, get skinnier up the top. And just make, I guess, the trunk of the tree. This one's a really nice one to do and it's very easy. I like to draw these because I live in Kiama and we've got so many pine trees everywhere lining the ocean and through my town. So when you've done that, what you can start to do is just at the top, adding little lines like that, going out and then out. It doesn't have to be completely symmetrical. And as we get to the bottom, we want these to be quite big as well. So you can have some shorter ones and some longer ones sticking up or just across. And just keep doing that as you go down the trunk of the tree. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. You can go like up like that, or you can just come around, add different shapes. So some curved ones, some straight ones going up. And it really just gives that tree a 3D look. And just take your time. Don't be too stressed about making it look perfect. Again, I'm just going down slowly and adding these lines. And just keep doing that all the way to the bottom, slowly, slowly getting bigger. And don't make it too noticeable. So we don't want to go from this size to that size in one go. We want to gradually go down in size and length of these branches. I'm sort of just using a flicking motion. So starting there and just flicking that out. And as you get to the bottom, it's getting bigger and bigger. And then just leave a little bit at the bottom of your tree trunk. So I'm just going to leave mine there for now. And if you're finished, just add some little bits of shading up in the trunk, just little bits here and there. So I'm just choosing little areas in between, maybe some branches or underneath. And I'm just going to shade the bottom of that a little bit more. Just like that. Okay, so when you're finished with that, it doesn't matter if you're not, just slowly go back in, and at the bottom of each of these lines, just add some extra shading and make it a bit darker. So just to make it look a bit more full, you might just color in some areas underneath. So I'm going to try and maybe color in some gaps in between, under some branches on both sides, and that's just going to make our tree look a bit more full and give it some shading as well. So I'm just going from the inside and just coming out, just adding some darker bits. These that'll make the branches look a bit thicker too. This is a really quick one that you can do as well. I think it's really nice, especially if you have a softer pencil, and you can even do it in pen. I think charcoal is a really effective one as well. So always be open to trying some different materials. You'll find lots of them in the news agencies. Just keep all the way down. And as we go down, we might color in a little bit thicker. So as you go, just choose how much or how little you want to add. And add some out here to the ones that you've got. Just giving it some more and making it look fuller. Thanks for all bearing with me with how much I give you. I just want to try and fit as much in as I can, because I know you can rewatch some elements of it and pause it afterwards. I guess while I'm here, I just want to try and show you as much as I can. That's why we might not get some things finished, but I think that's okay. I love seeing everyone post during the week. And even try and find some other trees and draw them and post them. I'm really excited to see what you guys do with this.
Is this a charcoal pencil?
Yeah, I've got a charcoal pencil. And I like it because it's quite, it's really black in color, so it works really well, I think. I know I'm moving on a little bit quick, but what you can do with these, if you'd like, if you're happy with it, you can leave it. But if you'd like, you can go onto each section almost. I hope you can see that. And add some lines in an upward direction. And these will be the, I don't really know what they're called, but the bits that come off the branches on pine trees, I guess the leaves. And you can do that to all of them or to some of them. I think it looks quite nice. It just adds an extra texture. So just like this, I hope you can see it. Just those little bits extra coming off the branches. And you can do that for all of them. Just coming up. You can even put these in your seascapes that you've done. And just do that to both sides. And so on this side, my lines are going this direction. And this side, my lines are going that direction. Oop, I just find charcoal snaps a lot too, so it's got to be wary. There you go. And when you're happy with it, I haven't finished it. I've left this bit blank. But when you're done, you can just come underneath, use the side of your pencil or the side of your charcoal, and you can give it just some land. You can just shade that in. Like that, you can add some more and start adding some more trees and just keep going. But I think that's all I'll leave you with today. I'm sorry about my internet connection and lots of content, but I hope you got something out of it and feel like you've got some skills to draw some leaves close up, some trees. And yeah.
Thanks, Liv. This has been great, and I love this pine tree.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. We've got a lot of love on here for the extension of our Learn to Draw classes with you. Lots and lots of love, so that's fantastic. And I guess what we really want to do eventually is, when we can, is actually do these in person. So we'd love to see some of you guys be able to come in and do this in person. But for now, this is the best way that we can deliver these workshops. So we really appreciate everybody being part of this. Lots of love coming back through again, Liv. Thanks for the great session.
I think this is the biggest one we've had too. I've noticed we've had about 15 to 17 people on average. So thank you.
No, that's fantastic. I did notice that we have the usual suspects, but we've definitely increased, and we've got some new people that have joined us. So welcome to all our newbies. Wendy said great class. I'm sure there'll be a whole lot of love that just keeps coming through. So make sure you come back and have a look at the comments, Liv.
Oh, thanks for joining. Next week we're going to be doing landscapes. So if you have trees or anything that you want to draw during the week, just as practice, we're going to be doing some landscapes and some hills and adding some trees and plants throughout. So we're going to be using the technique that we used with this tree. That's why I really wanted to show you how to do the leaves this way, because we're going to use that technique for drawing some long distance plants, I guess. So trees and plants further away. So that was why I did that today and showed you that, so that you can do trees with less detail. So I'm excited for next week's.
Brilliant. All right, well that's all from us, I think, Liv.
Yeah.
So we will see everybody again next week, and it wouldn't be a Facebook Live without a few technical difficulties. So we'll see everyone next week, and hopefully we get a week off from that.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone.
See ya. Let's just.
Bye.